Hey guys,
Hey, hey.
welcome back to the second episode of Everybody Wants to Be Us.
Everybody wants to be us.
I'm your host Robin,
And I'm Darcy.
and we're here to talk about everything good, bad, the ugly about the creative industries,
All of
girly.
it.
The fashion
All of it.
industries, fashion media, this big wide world, the chaos.
Yeah. Everyone that's involved in it, we're all getting you in. We're gonna spill the tea.
How you been this week?
I've been good. I've been busy.
What have you been up to?
Work was busy. I had like 2 freelance events in the evening, just like drop-in ones. I've had lots of meetings, and then I've been doing my 9 to 5, and now I'm here.
Nice.
And I went partying at the weekend.
How was last night?
I had a great time. I was at False Idols. And then I was at Head Tops. I saw Sophie Ellis-Bextor.
You saw her on the dance floor live.
It was perfect. It was amazing.
What was it? Did the crowd go wild?
The crowd absolutely lost their shit. It was incredible. She was amazing. She was bobbing about, having a great time. Like, it was beautiful.
It is crazy. Like, she's had that song came out in what, like 2000 and I don't know.
Yeah, it didn't even go to number 1 at the time, and now we're like fucking eating.
And now
that
all
shit
these years,
up.
like 20 years later, like that
I'm
is
eating
mental.
it. I'm eating. It's
She
gorgeous.
must like be like,
She hasn't aged either. Like, she looks exactly the same as she did. Like,
yeah.
I was like, the fuck? Like, incredible.
I was always obsessed with Sophie Ellis-Bextor.
Yeah.
I can't remember what the album's called, but there's one of her albums that I listed. Well, you know what? She had the song "If I Can't Dance" and it was in St. Trinian's, and I was like, that was for me. That was like a big moment.
Our film of like growing up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she had this album. I just remember listening to her, and I just thought she was this like magical like queen, and then she just kind of like died down for a bit, and boom, here she is.
She's back, bobbing
thriving.
about,
She's
having
booked
a great
and
time.
busy.
She's booked.
Saltburn changed her career.
Yeah, and like, I mean, that song pops off. Like, literally, I went to a club afterwards, went to an event afterwards, and they're playing it there, and I was like, I've just seen this like an hour ago. Like, I saw her do this.
Did everyone know her other songs as well? And
she went with like the classics. So, but yeah, fuck it, so good, so good. So yeah,
nice.
Feeling good, feeling fresh today. I was out late, but I'm a sober girly, so you know, I'll pull it round.
Yeah, you are sober queen.
Sober
nice.
queen. How about you? How's your week been?
Yeah, it's been good. It's been good. What I've been up to, I've been chatting away. I've been filming some podcasts at work, which is exciting. So
podcasts and
yeah, it's a very different vibe to this. I don't dress like this and that. But no, that's been good. And then I've been on a few dates. That was
nice.
That was interesting. I don't know if like am I giving details on this podcast? I don't know.
Give details if you want to give details.
Yeah. I went on a date with this boy, and let's just say he was a bit of a hater.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like,
we do not like. He did not want to be us.
Yeah. Like, he was kind of, everything was like really negative, and I was like, I'm such a positive. I'm like a very lover, like positive person.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, it's not really in my nature to be like hating on something like straight away, like positive outlook, etc.
Yeah, exactly. Like, just have a good outlook.
Compatible.
No.
I kind of was like saying that on the date. I was like, why are you such a hater? I was like, do you have like hate accounts and you hate like, comment on people's TikToks and Instagrams?
Are you
like,
that person?
And he was like, yeah, I do it on my own account, like as a joke, obviously. I'm sure he doesn't actually, but like, yeah.
Maybe.
I don't know if I'm going to include
Fact
this.
check that.
That's a bit cheeky, isn't it? I don't know, but we'll see.
So I'm going to listen.
Yeah, true.
Didn't go well.
Yeah. God, so that was quite interesting. But no, it's been good. Aside from that, I was just excited to get back here and film another episode. Really.
Yeah, baby. Yeah. Same.
You know what? Give us the goss.
Okay, give us the goss. So this is my fashion girly moment. My running around the city. So my handy moment of the episode. I'm starting off with my stories like early on in my career, but my first like proper job out of uni, it wasn't even 9 to 5 to be fair. It was like part-time, but it was just mental.
Yeah.
So when I was not freelancing, I was doing this part-time gig, and you know when you're just like desperate, and I was like, I'll take anything. I just want to be, because like I'd had to go home after uni, and I was like, anything to get me back in London, because like, well, once I'm in London, I can sort my stuff out, I can get it sorted. And
you start stressing like you're never gonna get a job. Like, I've been out here for a month. Like, what's gonna happen? Like, blah blah blah.
Yeah. So I got this job with this like random, like, I mean, it's not even really a brand. It was just like this Russian lady who had so much, she had so much money. She was just rich. She was just rich and decided that she was going to set up a fashion label.
Was it like her little passion project?
It was like her little passion project, but like she had no style. She had no clients. Like the clothes were so bad. They was like, she'd literally sell like maybe like one garment a month. And I'm like, how is this sustainable in any way? Like the marketing was bad. The e-com was bad. Like the products were bad. It was just awful. And like, I get there. I've done the interview and like, she's offered it to me straight away. Like literally at the interview, like no questions. And I'm like, that's keen.
Yeah.
But you know, I don't know any better at the time. I'm like, yeah, I'm great. Obviously she wants me straight away.
Let's go. I remember you coming for dinner after you had this interview.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. Like she's got a job. Like
she's just gone out of uni straight away, landed this job.
And you were like, yeah, it's for this like rich Russian lady. And I was like, oh my God, this is how you're going to become like a billionaire. Like this woman she's really wealthy. She started
this. I'm going to meet people.
Not podcast. She started this like brand. We're the ones starting the podcast.
Yeah.
And she is like, she's married to some billionaire. You're going to like get in there. You're going to become best friends with them. You're going to mingle with these people. And then you're going to like, you're going to find this like
just
oil
lifestyle
tycoon. And then like, you'll just like
here
live that life. But that's not what happened.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was a quick turnaround, the start to end. I was in and out in 6 weeks.
6 weeks?
6 weeks,
oh, I didn't know it was that short.
It was that short.
Yeah.
It was short, because like I literally went in and like I'd had like one meeting with her and like the instructions were vague, like beyond vague. Like she was just like, she'd be like, oh, I want you to just do like some drawings like based on this research, and she'd give me like 3 pictures of a flower.
Oh well, this is coming back to me now,
yeah, and like literally just 3 pictures of a flower, just like nothing else. And I was like,
And then she'd like disappear for 2 weeks.
And then she went on holiday for 2 weeks, and like and I was like, fine, whatever, I'll just crack on. I was like, if this is what you're gonna give me to work off, then like fine, like I'll just
make it work.
I'll just do what I can with it.
And also when you're starting out, you're like, sometimes you get scared to like ask questions, like in case it looks like you're stupid and you don't understand what you're doing. So you're just like, I'll do that. Sure, like this flower. I'll give you 10 dresses like this.
Yeah, literally. A flower means nothing really.
Yeah.
So I did like some more research. I started putting bits together. I started doing some drawings and sketches and things.
Yeah.
And then like, I'm like showing them to her and she's like, I can't read this. I'm like, okay, well, what format do you want it in? She was like, I want you to do it as technicals. And I was like,
had you done hand sketches?
I'd done hand sketches, but I translated them into CADs. And I was like, you're like, what are we talking about technicals? And then she'd sent me like this little like dummy block and she was like, no, I want you to hand draw the technicals. And I was like, right, you're insane.
This
makes no sense. This is long and like it's ineffective. But anyway, so I did that. And then, so I drew them up on paper. I'd like then put them onto the computer. I then redrew them on CAD in the same. And she was like, I can't read these. You didn't use them. And I was like, well, you can clearly see that I've literally used the template that you gave me because this is the template and that is the drawing. And like, there's all these things. And then she's asked me to color them and she's given me a color palette of these like horrible pastels, and like not even when pastels were cute, like pastels were not in at this point, like and like they were just nasty colors. And she's like, I want you to use these colors, so I color them in these colors. And then we get there and she's like, these colors don't go together, they look awful. She was like,
but she's given you them.
She's given them to me, right? And like, she was like, why have you pulled this color palette together? And I was like, this is the color palette you gave me. And she was like, I would never give you that color palette. And I'm like, I would never pick that color palette. I'm also like, she keeps giving me things in person, so then it's like I've not got like email threads of it. She'd forget exactly everything she told me, and then she'd come in and she'd be like just saying these like mad shit. And then we had like a team. I mean, I say team.
Yeah, like who was on the team?
There was literally like one other girl on the team, right?
Right.
Who was doing like social media, and I've honestly never met anyone so stressed and depressed in my life. Like she was having a horrible time.
Oh
like
God.
She'd been there for like 6 months, and I was like, "Why are you here if you hate it so much?"
Yeah.
Like, literally, she would like call me crying. I was like, "I don't even know you. Why are you crying?" like.
Oh, bless her.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I didn't say that to her. But when you're like, I don't know you. How is it that bad that you're crying to me?
Yeah, like we've just met.
We've
like,
literally
this must be bad for you. Like,
just met.
And now you're like opening up your soul to me.
Exactly. We're in this like team meeting, and it's me and this other girl, and she's like ripping into me, and she's like, you can't design, you don't do color, la 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 la, like literally like ripping into me in front of this other girl, and I'm like,
Hold on a sec.
Literally, I'm like, firstly, I've had one meeting with you. You disappeared for 2 weeks where you said I was not allowed to contact you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I've spoken to you for an hour and you've just left me to do something without actually telling me what you wanted me to do. And then I've done a load of work.
Yeah.
And you've come back and it's not what you were looking for because you didn't tell me what to do. And then you've given me a colour palette and then decided you actually don't like your own colour palette. And then you're deciding that that's now my fault. And you're ripping into me. And I was like, you've watched Devil Wears Prada and you were like, I'm
pretending to be her.
Yeah, I'm literally.
I'm not like, she's not talented.
No.
She's not doing any work either.
Literally. Like, she's giving like, I'm Miranda. But like, also like so I was there for 6 weeks. She didn't sell a single garment for the full 6 weeks that I was there. And I'm like, it's a clothing brand. If you're not selling clothing, then is it even a clothing brand? Do you know what I mean?
Also, like when you've got the money to push it, like what's she doing?
Yeah.
Also, like what's she up to? Like you're designing, she's...
Well, this is it. She'd go away for when she went away for like the 2 weeks, she was going away to like to meet the clients, to sell to the clients. She'd be like, oh, I've got this one lady and I think she's definitely going to buy a dress.
It's just like her one friend in like Moscow that she's like, hey, do you want to buy this dress? And they're like, yeah, I guess I'll have to do it to support you.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. That was literally the vibe. And they were just, everything was just so ugly. And like, you just try and like tweak things to make them like vaguely acceptable. And she'd be like, God, that's just hideous. And I'd be like, what?
Well, this is what you told me to do.
Literally. And like, it was this whole thing. And she just kept like ripping into me. So I just so I just quit. I quit. And
How did you leave? Like, what did you say?
Oh, I wrote a very brief. I was like, I can't even remember what. So I got my friend Sunny, shout out to Sunny, she's the best. Sunny, she's like very professional, to like write me like a resignation letter that basically was like, I just don't think I'm suited to this company. I'm going to leave.
Yeah.
Luckily I only had to give like a week's notice.
I love a good resignation letter.
Yeah, I mean, I probably have it somewhere. I can read it aloud later.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll have a look whilst you're telling your story. But yeah, I was literally like out the door. You know when it's like you've got to be polite as well because it's like industry. But I'm like, you're insane. It's she just said mad shit. And like literally like would completely forget what she said one meeting and then come back and then be like, I hate it. And I'm like, well, it's your idea.
Yeah.
It's literally your idea. Like,
did she reply to your email?
She did. She was really snarly about it. Like, she was, I think she was like clearly like offended that I decided that I was just going to leave.
Yeah.
And that like I didn't.
But like you can't just treat people like that.
No. But
like
also,
you're young, fresh out of uni, like you want to like get experience in the industry. You want to work. You want to like make cool things. You want to like put your passion somewhere. And she's just like, not it. Here's a flower. You've done a shit job.
Yeah, literally. If I just took a picture of a flower into my job now and I was like, this is the research, they'd be like, are you fucking kidding?
Yeah.
They'd be like, no.
Oh my God.
They'd be like, what have you been doing with your time?
This one girl in uni during a crit when she brought in a fish and she said,
I was in that crit as well.
Yeah.
It was just it's just like 5 pictures of fishes and then a drawing of a fish.
But like she could have sold it. Like she
didn't sell shit. That
like,
was bad.
Fish like they're quite interesting. Like you could use them as inspo in some ways.
Oh
like
yeah,
the scales,
100%,
the textures.
100%.
But this fish was not popping.
No, it was literally just like 5 pictures of fish in a sketchbook and then just like a sketch of it. And I was like,
do you keep up to date with this Russian lady?
No. Well, I had a look like a year ago and she hadn't posted anything on her Instagram for ages. And so I'm assuming that she didn't sell anything and the brand went bust.
It's so funny how like from when you don't know a lot of fish about something, like because in the industry you always like you want to be in the know, you want to know about like cool people, etc. You hear about something and you're like, oh my God, that like they must be cool, like let's go. And then like you find out more about them and you're like, oh my God, this is actually like a fraud, like what's going on here? Like
literally
they're not talented, they're not working, like what?
So untalented, like you know, it's like it's like you're so rich you just think you can do anything, but even you at your richness couldn't pull that off. Like even like it didn't matter how rich you were, no one's buying those clothes.
Oh bless. At least she gave it a good go. I think she's like back in Russia, it's like chilling.
Probably. Don't know. Yeah.
God.
Even she had to have a side hustle, which is embarrassing.
What?
She's doing like accounts on the side. Yeah.
Oh, okay. For a different company?
Yeah, I think so.
Wow.
Yeah. I think it was giving like daddy's company energy. Like
yeah, fairs.
Like I work for daddy and even though I'm like 50.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's other little tidbits we want from your story. I think we need the fashion twist. I think that's what we need. The fashion savior to the forehead.
So, well, yeah, I started telling last episode about my accident. Funnily enough, I'm actually wearing the shirt that I wore during the accident. It's got some like ripped marks, etc. But it's part of the vibe now, you know. Maybe I should like grease it up a bit on some other edges of it. So not only was in the midst of Fashion Week, flying around off bikes, smashing my head into the foreground. When I nearly died, there was one saving grace that saved me, and it was a pair of Le Specs sunglasses.
Shout out to Le Specs.
As I came flying off the bike, the sunglasses lifting up off my forehead off my eyes with the momentum, they like raised onto my forehead, and I hit the ground and collided. And then the reason my scar is that C shape, which if you're watching instead of listening, here it is.
There's that big old C on his forehead.
That's the shape of my sunglasses lens cutting into my forehead. So I actually think these sunglasses saved my life because let me tell you,
for sure,
they acted as like a little barrier between me and the ground. If I hadn't have
it was hard concrete underneath you,
straight into it, forehead straight into it. So those sunglasses saved my little old life. So cut to post concussion, not post concussion, sorry, post hospital, post going out.
Yeah. You're back in London.
I'm back in London now. Work sent me home. They said, they came out, they looked at me and they were like, there's no chance that you're working here. Get yourself home. I went home on the Eurostar, dressed in a black hoodie, sunglasses on, because any light, any sound was making me want to fucking like throw up.
Not ideal.
The massive scar on my cut on my forehead. It's still an open wound. This is a couple of days after the accident.
100%.
People are like moving out of the way from me. I'm like, I understand now why people get like face tattoos or something, because like the kind of like the vibe that gives you, like people just look
powerful,
differently. And I'm like, I'm literally not doing anything different than what I'm like walking along the Eurostar carriage and people are like shivering out of the way. Like it gives you some kind of power. Anyway, we're back in London. I get checked out again by a doctor here. They say that you just need to lie in bed and not do anything for like weeks.
Yep, weeks.
Concussions aren't fun.
No.
So then I'm sat there thinking, you know what? These sunglasses, they actually saved my life. So I'm gonna tell the company, because we work for these brands. And like, if somebody sent me an email being like, by the way, your product like played a vital role in saving my life, we'd eat that up in the office. Everybody would be like, like, look at this email, like. So
my customer service emails, like, I would love to be getting ones through like that, rather than like a mouth seat in my jumper. Like, oh, fuck off.
So then, in these pictures that my friends took, that we were talking about last episode, Molly and Mimi are both wearing a frame of the specs.
Yeah.
Mine now lay broken next to me on the ground. So you know what? The pictures, they're quite chic, they're quite sexy.
Branding. Yeah.
It's looking like it's a Le Specs campaign.
Yeah, it is.
So I'm like, you know what? They need to see this. So I go on ChatGPT and I write into ChatGPT what's happened. I say, I've told them the story and I say, can you make this the most entertaining email you can possibly get? Like, it doesn't have to be professional.
No.
Jazz up the drama.
Yeah.
And like tell them how their sunglasses saved my life. And then it gave me this beautiful email. I've edited it a little bit.
It was beautiful.
Shall I read it out? Okay. So, oh God.
Oh, the struggles.
Okay, here we go. So, I'm like, I need to get their attention. I need this to, basically, I'm aiming for some free sunglasses.
Yeah.
Here. I'm aiming for a replacement. That's the goal of this. But I also want to let them know that they're sturdy plastic products saved my life.
Yeah.
So I say, Le Specs sunglasses saved my life. Images attached. Please read. And I'm sending this to any email I can find of theirs. Dear Le Specs team, I hope this email finds you well. I'm reaching out to express my heartfelt gratitude for the unexpected role your sunglasses played in a recent incident that could have had far more severe consequences. About 8 weeks ago, during the dazzling whirlwind of Paris Fashion Week, I experienced a rather unglamorous mishap while riding an electric bike. The malfunction resulted in me being catapulted off the handlebars head first, with the impact aimed directly at my forehead. Miraculously, I was wearing a pair of Specs sunglasses at the time, and they turned out to be my unsung hero. And then I inserted these pictures. Accident madness ensued. In a twist of fate, the sunglasses gracefully lifted from my eyes to my forehead during the fall, taking the brunt of the impact as they collided with the ground. This unforeseen cushioning effect likely saved me from a far more severe injury, and I am eternally grateful for the accidental life-saving fashion statement your product provided. My friends comforting me in their respects while mine lay broken next to me. Adding to a touch of irony, the mark left on my forehead now mirrors the unmistakable shape of the lenses of the Luspex Outer Love model. I'm essentially forever marked with your product, serving as a walking testament to its protective qualities and a reminder of the love I had for the frames. And then I put these pictures in, the Outer Love lenses mark that has been left on my forehead and me recovering at home with my cat. Regrettably, the sunglasses I was wearing did not emerge unscathed from their unexpected heroics and broke upon impact. Recognising the unpredictable nature of life and the accidents that can occur, I am writing to kindly inquire about the possibility of being gifted a replacement pair. My smashless specs next to me while post-accident madness ensued. The Outer Love model holds a special place, not only for its life-saving qualities, but also as a shared fashion statement among my friends and me. It's disheartening to no longer have a pair. Losing them felt like losing a piece of my heart. If you are so generous as to provide me with a replacement pair, I would love to share my story on social media of how your beautiful products played a crucial role in saving my life and therefore are a vital necessity to anyone's wardrobe. And then I put a picture of me wearing my friend's Luspex in hospital as mine didn't make it. I said, thank you for your time reading this. I look forward to any assistance you can provide. And I remain deeply grateful for the quality and craftsmanship that went into creating such a remarkable product. Kind, life-saving regards, Robin. So that... I was expecting to maybe like not get a reply for like a few weeks. Maybe in a few weeks I'd email them again and be like, did you see this, by the way?
Yeah.
They replied in like 2 days and they were like, yeah, what do you want off the website? Like, I'm so sorry to hear about this. Like, so they sent me three pairs.
Yeah. I mean, so if I got that email for it, I'd be gassed.
Yeah. I bet when they got it in the office, they were like, oh my God.
I'd been sending it round. It'd been in the email chain.
Yeah. So yeah, it was that was a bit dramatic, but you know, the glasses saved my life.
Yep.
And now I've got a few free pairs, of which these are one of them, actually.
Gorgeous.
So thank you very much.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the end of that story. Well, I then was concussed for like 3 months and then didn't really do any work while I had to recover my brain.
Yeah, you were not okay.
Short-term memory. Like, if I left the room now, I would like remember speaking to you, but I wouldn't know
what we'd spoke about.
Like,
not ideal.
Yeah, it was fucked. But yeah, bringing that old story to a close. Should we wrap this one up?
Let's wrap it.
Okay, well, thank you for listening to the second episode.
Yeah.
We want to hear more about your Andy moments, your moments where you've taken it too far. Like, we've given you some of ours the past 2 episodes, and we've got plenty more to give, but we want to hear from you guys. What is something that, like, you have done, which is just, whether it's a tiny thing, like, when you got the creative director's coffee order wrong and they absolutely popped off, or... Give us the deep meaningful moments where like somebody has like.
We will go in later. We're just giving you some time.
Yeah.
We're just easing you in
because there is a lot more.
There is a lot more.
And like we're not just saying this like. We've been through something.
We've been through it, yeah.
So yeah, give us it. Follow us Instagram, TikTok. Watch the whole thing on YouTube.
Yeah. Everyone wants to be us pod. That's how you find us.
And peace out.